You have failed to accept the truth. Here you are following their semantic rules, playing the role of a social robot, one that is being brainwashed nonstop. It has become a form of art that ripped your thoughts apart, indulged you in its practices, wrapping you around its clutches. While you rest, they create your reality, making their words your best rhapsody, when in fact it's just a treading enemy, reinforced linguistically and sanctioned culturally. You work hard towards the prosperity of the oppressor, and to those who dare fight, you take extreme measures. You have a lopsided point of view of a rigid world, yet you do nothing to change it and appear undisturbed. Isn't it time to emancipate yourself against such actions? Form your own truth and make your own decisions. Educate yourself and free your mind. Leave what you thought is the truth behind. It was Nora Syed's Mental Slavery, which is very appropriate. As we kind of return after a slight hiatus, dealing with some stress and sickness in my house, we come back and find our good friend here, Micah, confronting his bodyguard, who he is now suspicious of. He finds that there were some hidden truths to him. He didn't quite know what to believe, and as he questioned and got some truthful answers about the plot, not against him, but against his father, a fight broke out. Racing to find out who the cause of it was, Bad Boy Bobby, their bodyguard, and Micah come into a pretty hectic scene as a 20-foot tall creature, 4 arms, tentacles where its waist ends, spikes all over its carapace-like body, and on top of its head, almost like crown of thorns made out of the connectors of brain neurons, a neuron beast itself, broken with a handful of the Broadkill fighters. And taking aim, they went after Amadi, Micah's older sister. The fight, given the fact that nobody here was properly armed with the exception of the Broadkill and what the Cyber Knights themselves were able to wield with their Psi swords. They both engaged, both of the Cyber Knights engaged the Neuron Beast, as Bobby started fighting off more and more of the Broadkill. However, as the fight began to kind of go against it, as the numbers no longer favored it, the Neuron Beast pulled out a truly terrifying secret. Using the puppet power, it took control of Amadi's mind. And as she lost her ability to make rational decision, we come right back into combat as it was. So, let's see. Let's pull up. We're going to start, actually, even though it's in the middle of combat, I'm still going to pull up the fate chart and throw papers on the ground, because that has helped me so often in the past. All right, fate chart. We are at a chaos factor of 6, which I'm actually going to bump up to a 7, because even in the middle of combat like this, the puppet power has really kind of changed the battle. By itself, puppet doesn't mean that suddenly they gain a new fighter. But what it does mean is effectively Amadi is now out of the fight, as the Neuron Beast gets to set a directive for her. She cannot take actions that would intentionally hurt her or any of her friends. But the Neuron Beast is simply saying, we're going to leave. That harms no one. So we go up to a chaos factor of 7. And now let us roll our fate check. 0. So that's a 10, which means the fight continues as expected. So let's start dealing them into initiative. And here we go. Micah draws the 2. Bobby draws the 4. Neuron Beast draws the 8. Amadi gets the Jack. And what's left of the Broadkill get a 9. Amadi, though, can't really take any actions on her own, so I'm going to mark her as on hold. until she gets something that the Neuron Beast tells her to do. The Broadkill here, they are still locked in their fight with Bobby. And so, let's see, a shooting roll of a D8. I think there's only about 3 left. 3 and 3, it's not enough. They begin firing, trying to capture him, but even with the heavy plated armor, there is panic, and they are just firing into a group. The Neuron Beast, though, let's go over to... Let's see what action he gives. Of course, this thing closes. There we go. Combat actions. 13. Betray. 87. Betray struggle. Okay. I don't know fully what that means. Betray struggle. Maybe the Neuron Beast, seeing the fact that she is here. Oh, I know what he's going to do. He is going to tell her effectively to, in her mind, she starts kind of feeling the voice. It's not even fully a voice as much as it is just emotions and thoughts swirling around, overwhelming what senses she has left, and her vision just fills with the sight of this creature. But the directive it sends is just stay still. Alright, so it is going to try to hit her with its tentacles. It has 4 tentacle actions, so 1 action means it gets 4 rolls effectively. Hit from a tentacle, it's shaken or wound, causes a vigor roll against paralyzing poison. It's going to try to paralyze her to make her easier to carry out. So it is a fighting roll of a d8. It's a wild card, and it effectively gets to take 4 actions from 1 turn. So, as we know, Amity's parry is pretty high. Yeah, her parry's a 10. 8 blows up. That's a 10. Okay. First one's a... Yep. First one hits. And from a tentacle. The tentacles don't say that they do any particular damage. Oops. That's not even going to be close enough. Second attack. Nope. Nope. Third attack. The 4th hits. But that's not enough either. It just starts battering against her. I actually think she gets to make a spirit check as it's trying to effectively attack her. So we'll give her a d10. That's a 9. She begins to break out of the puppet. But I'm going to say she wastes her turn. She loses her turn, not understanding what's going on. Bobby sees all this and just begins yelling out, just, Micah, you need to get her out of here, as he begins to fire again. So let's see, let's get his d8s. Whoops. D10s. And he's going to rate a fire 3 as he starts firing into the crowd of the Broadkill. 2 hits. So the first one, 46. Alright, so that's 4, 10, 16, 18. And with their toughness of 9, armor piercing 2, so that shakes one of them. Second shots. It's just a bunch of 2s and 1s, that's not going to be enough. Bobby strikes one of them. It spirals down, clutching its arm, trying to get back up. And we go over to Micah. Micah, who, of course, is now pretty pissed. He looks over and just begins to shout at his sister. Now's not the time. Let's break out of it. Come on. Up and at him. And he's going to take multi-action penalty. He's going to swing twice. Let's see, a 7 to hit versus a parry of 6. So that's going to be a hit. His Psy Sword, 2d10 plus his strength, which I believe is a d8. Yep. Alright, so this thing has an armor piercing of 8. And if I remember correctly, he's got Smite up still, so it's an additional +2. Plus he's got the Holy Abilities, which puts a +6 damage. Alright, so that's 15, 16, 17, 23 total. And a toughness of 36. Even minus the 8, that puts it down to a 28, so that's not enough. He's going to take his second attack. 7 minus everything is, -1. Actually, it's -2, but 3 total. Shit. He swings, and this creature just begins to back up, keeping him at bay with the long tentacles. He's having a hard time actually gaining purchase to strike this thing. He takes the 3. Bobby takes the 9. The demon takes a king. Amity takes a 5, but the Broadkill get the ace. They take their shots. There's only 2 of them left, so instead of rolling with the wild die, it's just now 2 shots. It's 7 that will hit. And 11, 12, 13, 14, 15... 16, 17 total, but against a combat cyborg, that's not enough. And now we go over to the Neuron Beast. Okay. Well, let's roll on his actions. He was trying to betray, which I kind of took as the interpretation of him trying to paralyze her. 14, block, 35, disrupt. Block, disrupt. Okay. I'm looking through his powers. He's got a lot of psionic powers and a lot of magic powers. So he's going to multi-action penalty. He's going to take the deflection to make a -2 to hit him. And multi-action penalty, oh, and this is an 8, so it doesn't count. So, psionics, d12. And his wild die. 6, activates. -2 to hit him going forward. And now he's going to try to use stun. Alright, stun. Activates, and now Amity is stunned. Yeah. Just to make sure I'm reading that power correctly. Must make a vigor roll. Okay. Just wanted to be sure. Her vigor, d10. Not enough. She rolls a 3. That's a -2 because of its raise or be stunned. So the stunned effect means she is distracted. She falls prone, can't move, don't count, and are subject to the drop. Okay. So she is distracted. -2 on all rolls. She is prone, and when she comes out of it, she becomes vulnerable. Gotcha. That sucks. As a shimmering field just kind of comes up around this creature, looking so much like the electricity that makes up a neuron, it holds one hand out and then clutches its long claw-like fingers together. And suddenly Amity is gripping and screaming at the top of her lungs as her head just begins to pound. Amity loses the ability to focus. She drops to the ground, and he moves over to begin to pick her up. Bobby continues his assault, trying to get these Broadkill down to the reasonable numbers they need to be. And he's going to kind of spray and pray over in that direction. It's one hit with a raise and one hit. We'll do the raise first. All right, 11, 12, 15, 21, 26, 27. One of these creatures just drops to the ground, gaping wound right in its chest. Takes another shot. Let's see, that's 10, 14, 16, 17. Put the armor piercing at 2. This one is now shaken as well. Bringing all 3 of them down. 2 of them, though, not actually out. He kind of turns and sees Amity down. At the start of her turn, or at the end of her turn, she gets to make another vigor roll. D10 to see if she can shake out of it. No, she's still stunned. So we go over to Micah. Micah's still not sure exactly what's going on. Why, Amity's not fighting back, but he sees that she is in pain. Damn, can he do? What can he do? All right, well, he's going to keep multi-action swinging. He's going to try to take these fighting rolls. His Psi Sword is the one thing that he knows might be able to actually damage his creature. So, first attack. Oh, both blow up. It's a hit with a raise. Nice. So D10, or no, D8, then 2D10, and now a D6. All right, what is that? That's 10, 13, 16. Not even close, Micah. Not even close. Second attack. 3 2s. Frustrated. He just can't seem to get past this, even with the barrier. He's pushing the blade past. It gets close, but he can't seem to really get any kind of attack against this creature itself. And now, let's see. Next round. Micah takes another 3. Bobby takes a queen. A 3 for the Neuron Beast. Jack for Amity, and for those... Oh, shit. And a Joker on the side of the Broadkill. Which effectively means they're going to be... They don't get a Benny, not being wild cards, but the Neuron Beast does. And... Let's see. They get to take their Vigor roll at a +2. They all have D10s. 2 of them are actually... Yep. They both make it. They come back up. And they are going to take their shots. As they kind of climb back up onto their feet. One of them braces the gun. Looks down scope, trying to line up Bobby. And... blows up. Oh, shit. Alright, so that's a hit with a raise. Alright, that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 19, 22. I don't think the... How do I not have the combat cyborg up? Come on. All right. Books I should have open first. Okay, toughness of 26. What is that? 8? Nah, that's enough. Second shot. Okay, 8, 11, plus 6 is 17. 18 total. Even though these 2 shots, they slam into the heavy armor of the cyborg. It kind of rocks him back on his feet a little bit. And he looks back over, sees them over there. There's a bit of a furious look in his eyes. They start taking cover again. So they're going to be behind cover. So -4 to hit them. But it is his turn, of course. And he is going to multi-action penalty. He's going to take his rock and roll style shots. Rate of fire 3. All right. And here we go. All right, so that blows up. 1 hit with the raise and 1 hit. We'll do the raise first. All right, so that's 4 plus 12 because 2 of the 6s blow up. It's 16. 16, 19, 25, 29, 35. Oh, I think it's safe to say that guy's just dead. And then a shot without a raise. All right, 5, 10, 16, 17. Armor piercing a 2, and that creature is stunned again. Or not stunned, but shaken. Even behind cover, just unerringly, this combat cyborg is prepared for war, designed for it, in fact. And as he begins taking his shots, he knows exactly where to aim to try to get them as they peek their heads out. He waits a moment. One of them pokes its head up and just poof, straight between its eyes. It begins to melt away into a smell of sulfur. The other one gets a shot across the bow, grazes on the outside of its ears. It tries to peek around, and it drops back down, dropping its gun for a moment. We go over to Amity, who is still stunned. She gets to start with her vigor check. Oh, there we go. Good job, Amity. She comes out of the stun, but she is vulnerable and distracted. So that means she takes a -2, and it's +2 to target her. She is prone, so she's going to use 5 feet of movement to stand up. And she just kind of shakes her head like, what? Brother, what the fuck is going on? I haven't been in control. And then she leans forward, and I'm just looking to make sure I know exactly what powers she has. Yeah, she's going to try to activate deflection to make it a little bit harder on her. So, innate ability, psionics, D8. Oh no, that's a 1. Okay, so she doesn't suffer backlash, but it doesn't activate. We go over to the Neuron Beast. Let's find out. So this creature is now kind of concerned because his backup is down. He hasn't been able to get his target out. 98, waste, 47. Waste free. Waste free. I'm going to assume not necessarily like waste his turn. No. Oh, waste free. Let me ask a fake question here. Does this just mean he's going to recognize he's got to kill her and get out? He's not going to try to take captives anymore. 36, yeah. He is going to try to kill Amadi. So, he can ignore multi-action penalties up to 2 points. Summon a side blade for each hand, which I found was working differently than I thought. And he has tentacles, so he's going to take 1 action for his tentacles, which allows him to take 4 attacks at a reach of 4, and then he's going to try to hit her with the Sai Sword in the hopes that he may have her, hopefully at some point, paralyzed. Alright, so her parry is 10, but it's a +2 to hit her right now. So we're going to fighting roll of a d8, and he gets to make effectively 4, 1 with each of his tentacles. But he's got to beat a 10. Blows up. So 1 of them hits. She needs to... Oh, wait. It's strength plus 2d6 for its claws. Armor piercing of 10. I didn't see that up above. Okay. So its strength is a d12. And then 2d6 from the tentacle. Armor piercing of 10. Alright, 10, 13. Her armor is 6. Total of 17. That brings it down to an 11, so that will... What did I say? Alright, 10, 13. 13, 18. That's going to be enough to wound her. And she is not a wild card. Alright, quick fake question. Is Amadi a wild card? Given how long I've been playing her without, but I haven't even thought about it, we're going to say very unlikely, which is still 15 below, 24. So yeah, she's a wild card. I'm only going to give her 2 bennies, but we're going to try to get her to soak those now. So we're going to spend 1 benny. And now she's going to try to soak the incoming damage. Otherwise, you know, well, it's not going to kill her now, but she can take only so many wounds. Okay. Figure of a d10. Okay. She soaks 1 wound. Second attack coming in. That actually does hit her. d12 plus 2d6. Oh shit, the 12 blew up. Alright, so that's 17. Oh, 27. So that's all 4 wounds she's going to have to soak. Damn. Okay. Figure of a d10. Alright, so she has to beat... I'm going to say she's got to soak 4 wounds, so she's got to roll a 16 or higher. That is not a 16. She soaks 1. She is paralyzed. She is stunned, and she takes 3 wounds. 1 more wound, and she is out. All right. Now, the fact that that was the tentacles, and I said he was taking a multi-action penalty, he's going to strike with the side blade. All right, so fighting of a d8, he effectively has the drop on her, which is a +4 to the roll. The 6 blows up. 12. Oh, it's a hit with the raise. All right. I'd forgotten. So effectively, the way that the side blade works, it uses smite to summon them. I'd said that it already had, so we're going to assume that its side blade is out. And its mega damage melee weapon dealing strength plus smarts damage. Its strength is a d12. Its smarts is a d12 plus 2. So it's 2d12 plus 3, plus 4 extra on the damage because he has the drop. This very likely could kill her. Let's see. Her toughness right now is an 11. Oh, shit. She has no more bennies. Amity, as the creature comes around, she is paralyzed on the ground. Her side blade has disappeared from her hand. She is struggling as blood begins to well up out of her throat. She coughs and spits and looks up with one bloodshot eye. One of the tentacles is wrapped around her. It lifts her up in the air. And the creature, no mouth on it, but yet there is still like a look of mischievous glee as it drives a side blade straight into her chest. So, Amity is now dying. Oof. Are we going to end up in a vengeance story? What is going on here? Okay, let's get to wounds. All right. Where's the injury table? Pennies. Okay. All right. Damage effects, wounds, incapacitation. An immediate vigor roll. And of course, this is at -3 as she has taken that many wounds. Vigor's a d10. Fortunately, she's a wild card. That is a failure. Okay. This injury is permanent. Amity. 5. Takes a shot to the guts. And is battered. Her vigor is reduced by a die type. Okay. And she is bleeding out. She must make a vigor roll at the start of each of her turns. If she fails any of the rolls, she perishes. Okay. Which means she still gets dealt in. As the creature drives this blade deep into her belly, she coughs out. She doesn't even have a moment to scream before she's just swallowed in darkness. She goes limp, and the creature's like nasty looking tentacle. And we now go over to Micah. Micah is incensed by this. He's going to multi-action penalty. He's going to take 2 attacks. And he's going to go wild, which adds a -2 to the roll, but a +2, I believe. Let's take a look real quick. Wild attack, 109. +2 to the fighting attack and resulting damage rolls, but he is vulnerable until the end of his next turn. Okay. So +2 to the attack roll, +2 to the damage, but he is vulnerable. So this will add a +6, +8 to the damage roll. And +2 to the roll, which will counter the multi-action penalty, so it's -1 from his point of exhaustion. Oh, they both blow up. It's a hit with a raise on that first one. So he gets to do +2 to the damage roll. What would you say, +6 total? Okay, so it's 2d10 plus a d8 plus a d6 plus 8. And not a thing blew up. That's some shit. 10, 14. 19 plus 6 is 25, and that's even with the armor piercing. The armor piercing, his armor piercing on this thing is an 8, which brings it down to a 28. That's not enough. His second attack roll. Buddy, we're going to have to work on some of your skills here. That will hit, but not with a raise. So it's just 2d10 plus a d8. And nothing blew up there. 10 points total. You know what? He's going to spend a Benny. He's going to spend a Benny on the damage roll. That's almost just as bad. All right, what is that? It's 13. Another Benny. Fuck. He's only got one Benny left. He's not going to take it. But let us reshuffle. Damn. I did not expect Amity to go out like that. All right. Micah gets the queen. Bobby gets the jack. Nora Beast gets the 5. Dying Amity gets the 10. And the last remaining broadkill gets the 3. All right. So even with his hindrance, it is Micah's turn first. So he's going to single attack roll. 6 blows up. All right, so it's a hit, no raise. And he is now vulnerable, which gives a +2 to attack rolls against him. That's 7, 14, damn, 16. But that is his turn. Bobby's turn. He's going to take his 3 shots. And he's going to turn one of them. Well, he's going to try to see if he can get this last broadkill out. And then turn the rest onto the Neuron Beast. Okay. 2 hit. 1 with a raise. So he's going to, of course, take the 1 with the raise against the broadkill. Just try to finish it off. Oh, yeah. Look at that. 6, 11... 17, 18, 22. Poof. Done. No more broadkill. And then his second shot. Oh, damn. Okay, so that's 12 plus 8, that's 20. And these 2 blew up. Oh, they blow up again. 32. Plus 3 more. 32, that's 35. It's got a toughness of 36, but we've got armor piercing of 2, so boom. It is now shaken. Bobby managed to shake the thing that poor Micah has just been whittling away at. But we go over to Amity, who is right now bleeding out. This is a little bit of a big roll for her. No bennies. She has a vigor of a D10. It's a -3 because of her wounds. And if she fails this, she's dying. She's gone. Let's see. Okay. Rolled a 9. -3 is a 6. So that's a success. Bleeding out. She survives. Must roll again next turn. Okay. So she is still bleeding out, but she did not die this turn. Wait, what did I say? Actually, her vigor goes down by 1. This is a permanent wound. I'll allow it for this time, but then for the next round I need to remember that. She is busted. No, not busted. She is battered. Which is -1 die on bigger. Alright, it's the Neuron Beast's turn. It gets its turn to try to unshake with a spirit of a D12. This is very likely, but you never know. Oh, would you look at that? Snake Eyes. It does not get to unshake, nor does it get to spend a Benny to... Well, it does get to spend a Benny to unshake, which it's going to do. It is now unshaken, but it didn't. It had to burn up Benny anyway if it wanted to get out. Now, it has accomplished its mission. What is it going to do now? Character actions, combat. 37. Dominate. That doesn't sound good. 8. Dominate anger. Oh yeah, of course. It's going to try to kill this little upstart that has been plaguing it this entire fight. It is going to multi-action penalty take 2 attacks with its Psy Swords. Okay. Fighting with D8, so 2D8. And of course, this is a +2 against Micah. Right, first strike, level head. Oh, it has level headed? Should be giving it more dice. I haven't been. But it does not. Yeah, it does not have, what is it called? It doesn't have Frenzy. 5 and a 4. Nope. Another 5 and a 4. Micah manages to start parrying as these blades start coming in. Deflecting the Psy Sword versus Psy Sword. There's just these cacophonous, like, flashes of bright light that causes everyone around it who witnesses it to have a mild ringing headache as the psionics go back and forth. Okay. Just to make sure that I fully understand. Level-headed. What does level-headed give it? It's combat edge. Draw an additional. Draws 2 additional and chooses which one to use. So you should be getting 3 cards. All right. It does not play well against Micah, who takes a 3. Bobby gets the 5. 1, 2, 3. And takes the queen. And Amity takes the queen as well. So Amity goes first. Her, knowing the fact that now her vigor is down to a D8. And like I said, she still has to effectively roll a 7 or higher. Oh, 1 and 4. We witness. That's poor Amity here. She looks up with what little left of the light in her eyes. She blinks. She sees her brother fighting for her life. She thinks of all the mysteries that he's going to have as she's gone. And with one feeble, weak hand, she just goes,